Aveline, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Did that cut just really look good, or what? Was I on the exact same camera angle when I swapped to another world? I barely even noticed that happened. I'm sorry, I just had to add that. That was funny. So anyway, before we get into talking about this build today, we are building what I want to call a tiny house, but some of you might not agree. I will get back to you with a reason why I still want to call this a tiny house in just a second. But before I get into talking about that, I also want to remind you guys that I'm currently running a giveaway for 2 packs for The Sims 4. So there will be 2 winners and they're going to win 1 pack each. And all you gotta do to join this time is download Lovelink by clicking on the link in either the description box or the one in the pinned comment. And then just play the game until you unlock 3 interest boxes on 1 character. So not match with 3 different characters or unlock 1 interest box on 3 different characters either, but 3 boxes on 1 character. Then take a screenshot and send it to me in a DM on either Twitter or Instagram, and you can find my socials linked through my link tree, which you can find in the description box, by the way, just in case you don't follow me over there and you know, you want to join the giveaway. The giveaway is also not sponsored by Jam City, and I also want to add that the link actually works as a creator code, which means that all money that you spend in game actually helps support me and the channel as well. The giveaway is both worldwide and it will also include console players. So why are you not joining? If you are still working on completing your Sims 4 collection, here's another opportunity for you. And yeah, it should be super easy to join, to be honest. You just gotta play the game, so I wish you all the best of luck. So as for why this house is still considered a tiny house in my opinion, that little middle bit between the 2 boxes, the 3rd box in the middle, essentially, I actually end up opening it, so I take away the door and I also tear down the wall at the front at least. I leave the windows at the back part just because I didn't want it to be completely open. The Sim still has to walk from the living room to the other building before they go to bed, I suppose, unless they just hang out in their bedroom all day, which no, I don't think they do. So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't completely open. I still wanted, like, we still have roofing over it, which is basically made out of glass. I'm using the Island Living floor decor pieces, floor glass inserts, whatever we want to call those. I'm not actually sure what I've called them in the past. I think just glass inserts, but I don't really know. So it's still covered with roofing, and hopefully, you know, this is just me thinking realistically, but hopefully there's also not like wind going through, because sometimes if you have 2 buildings right next to each other and you walk down in the middle between them, it's kind of like it becomes this tunnel of wind, if you get what I mean. So I wanted to avoid that. Not that that happens in The Sims, but sometimes you just, I don't know, sometimes I just think like that, so I can't really help it. But anyway, so that is why I still consider this a tiny house, because usually I don't count exterior tiles as a part of a tiny house. I know that sounds ridiculous to some people. Luckily, I feel like the term tiny house is up for interpretation. So I know that some people wouldn't consider this a tiny house, but I am still going to, so that's that on that. And also it's because the 2 houses on their own basically are micro houses. So, you know, we got the different tiers that came with Tiny Living, yeah. By the way, we need another pack like that. Like, that pack hit at the right time and it was so good. We need another pack like that, just hitting at the right time. Where are the packs at? Anyway, moving on. Like, packs, not kits. Packs. Now moving on. So, since there are 2 micro houses combined, I would say they're a tiny house, even though a tiny house for me definitely falls somewhere between tiny houses and micro houses in this sense. Like, I feel like if you are max tiles, which I'm sure that this actually is, if you just take the 2 interior boxes and put them together, I'm sure it's max tiles, which is 64. It's still quite a lot, so, but I also wanted to do something funny with it. I wanted to have fun with platforms on the exterior. I found a super cool house on Pinterest that I was taking inspiration from is what I meant to say, and I just wanted to do it justice, so I didn't want to cut myself down by cutting away, like by sticking to the tile count basically, because it gets super annoying sometimes. So we are just ignoring it today like we usually do, to be honest. So if you download this house, it might not even count as a small home because I am literally using so many platforms, and I also ended up putting foundation pieces somewhere on the roofing just so I could use a roof trim as well. No, not a roof trim. I forgot what it's called, but you know which one I mean. And also so that the glass inserts on that little middle piece would also work the way that I wanted to. And we're having some fun with platforms aside from the patio as well with some landscaping. So there's just a lot of use of platforms in this house. And therefore, I definitely think it doesn't even count as a small home, but hopefully it's okay with you anyway. Also, I quickly want to add that I am considering streaming tomorrow, by the way. So if you want to hang out and you haven't had the chance to either Sunday or yesterday, tomorrow might happen. I'll keep you guys posted on the community tab. It depends a little bit on how the build went yesterday, but I don't know that yet, so we'll see. I think I have a fun plan of what I want to do, but I think I already mentioned that in Tuesday's video, and we already talked about it on the stream yesterday, so we're not gonna get into that, but I'm super excited. As I'm sitting here doing the voiceover, I'm super excited to actually do that build. So yeah, but also go follow me on Twitch anyway. You can find a link to that through my link tree as well. So I'll be streaming a lot more from now on, and I'm really excited about it. I'm very motivated for it, and it's gonna be a good time. So sorry if I keep mentioning it in voiceovers, but it's just, I like to talk about things that I'm excited for, and hopefully that also makes sense to you. So yeah. As for the interior of this house, I wanted to keep everything kind of black and then with pops of color, so it is not overly colorful in any way. I also wanted to, like, there's still pops of color like you can see on the couch, and maybe a couple of books here and there or something. There's a little group of plants here and there too, but not overdoing it like I sometimes do, or I mean, overdoing plants is not really a thing in my opinion, but you get what I mean anyway, okay? So, basically keeping it black mainly because I wanted to add these sort of colored lights here and there, because if you've seen a lot of either YouTubers, gaming YouTubers here on YouTube, why did I have to specify that? Anyway, okay, or streamers, either here on YouTube or Twitch, you might notice that a lot of them have, like, I don't personally, but that's because I have fairy lights on my bookcases, so I feel like it would just clash together, but a lot of people seem to have these sort of like LED lights that are colored. Some even have those that you can control through your Stream Deck if you have one of those, which is super cool. Would love that, like those kinds. I have a Stream Deck, but I don't have the lights still. If I didn't have my fairy lights, I would love that sort of system set up. I think that is super cool. So I wanted to take inspiration from that and add some of that to this house because we are building for what I want to call a professional gamer. I literally went on Google, okay, and I Googled The Sims careers, and then I was sent to some kind of wiki page where they showed me all the careers that we've had throughout both Sims 1 to Sims 4, and I thought gamer sounded super cool. So it's not esports gamer, it's just gamer. I don't know what the difference is, but okay. I suppose the two careers have had different names depending on what game it was for, because I think that esports is kind of on the newer side, so it might not have been a thing from like before Sims 2, maybe including Sims 2. So before that, they might just have called it gamer, but I don't really know because again, I don't really remember what careers we have in The Sims 4. I think it's called esports gamer though, right? In The Sims 4? Whatever, it's fine. They could also easily pass for a streamer or something like that, but I wouldn't say a YouTuber because you need like, well, I suppose you need the same setup. I don't know. I just get streamer vibes from this, so, but mostly not esports, mostly gamer, professional gamer vibes, because I put a lot of awards in their little office. I know, I'm overdoing it. We're giving them a full-on office. That is cool, but like, if you work from home, which technically this person wouldn't, I feel like, or depending on what they do, because I'm gonna have a hard time fully explaining this, so just bear with me. But if they are, but that's also an esports gamer, so not just a gamer. Let's just call them an esports gamer, it's fine. Professional gamer, whatever the term is, we're going with it. But if they do like League of Legends, or at least League of Legends, I'm pretty sure it's the same for Counter-Strike, but I don't really remember. But those guys, basically, at least the guy teams, not sure about the girl teams, But the guy teams literally live in a house together where they play computer together, specifically League of Legends, and like train and stuff together in this house. That at least used to be a thing 5 years ago. I don't see why they would have had the time to change that within the last 5 years, but I know that was a thing for 5 years ago. So technically they wouldn't be living in this house alone if that's what they were doing, but I don't really know what it's like for other games. Would love to hear you, if you know. I would love to hear you out on that because honestly, I find it kind of interesting. So if you know anything about other games or if they've changed it for League of Legends since then, let me know. But it's kind of like team building, but always in real life. Their careers are always or are also a little bit shorter because they don't really stick with sports gaming, esports gaming for like up in the 30s, I think. So I suppose it's like you live with this group of people for like 5 years or 6 years, 7 years or something like that. And then some of them are swapped out with time as well. And you have your different roles in the house and I don't know. Anyway, but they definitely wouldn't be living like this, though. They'd be a group of people. Maybe I should have made a group home instead of just for one sim. Or two, technically, because there's a double bed. I didn't think that far. Okay, so sorry. I think maybe that's why I'm also getting streamer vibes from this house, because if they just have a green screen behind their computer, technically they could also, or just not, it's just that they don't have a particularly interesting background for YouTube videos or streaming, so I would say they would probably have a green screen if that's something they were doing. A lot of those people actually also stream in their spare time to earn more money, which makes sense because they don't, like I said, they don't really have their careers for a long time. So, I should have thought about that too. There's a lot of things I should have thought about before going into this build. I was just super excited to get started with it, and I might have skipped past a few things, but I hope you guys like it anyway. I also gave them a cat, because I thought it was kind of sad a little bit that they were living out here on the island all on their own and just had a small house. I felt like maybe they needed some kind of companionship, so I ended up giving them a cat, and I had to put the litter box outside because there was no room in the house. I know I'm a terrible builder. It's fine, okay? It's fine. But just to finish off that thought, I think that's why I'm also getting streamer or YouTuber vibes from this house, because they're living alone. They don't have that team, and in my head, like, they're not living with their team, and in my head, because when I used to watch a lot of League of Legends streams and events and stuff, I knew that all those guys were living together, and well, this person is not. But it's supposed to be for professional gamers, so. But also in The Sims, it doesn't work that way, so it's fine, right? You could technically use this for a Sims that's a professional gamer. What's that meal box doing on the patio? Go away. Anyway, oh gosh, I forgot an outdoors trash can. I'll fix that before uploading this to the gallery. Don't you worry about that. I also want to add that they have literally the coziest view from this outdoors dining area, because they can look over, like, first of all, they have all the fairy lights above the table, which is so cute. I love fairy lights. This is why I have all these fairy lights on my bookcases, just in case you hadn't put two and two together. So anyway, and it's just cozy. Like, that's cozy on its own. But if you're sitting at the dining table, you can look over the water, at least if you're sitting on one side. If you're sitting on the other side of the table, you can look into the forest, which is arguably a little bit more scary, personal opinion, but it might just be me. But the water view is so nice. This is one of the reasons that I really like building here on the island, because the view is just so nice and calm and cozy, and yeah, it's just nice. I would build more in Solani if I only knew how to do palm tree landscaping a little bit better, but I just don't. But there's also a lot of places in Solani that has the same kind of like water view that I just really love because it looks really pretty. I wouldn't want to live there myself per se, just because I like living in the city, but I do appreciate it. If I would like go to a vacation home for just a week or something, I wouldn't mind it. I would wear a lot of sunscreen, but that's just because otherwise I melt. But I wouldn't want to live in it, I don't think. So, and also this is what I meant by all the platform use for landscaping purposes or just outdoor plant decoration purposes, whatever you want to call it. I just had a little bit of fun with it, so making up different levels, and I used just bare foundation for some parts, and I used half walls for other parts. I was having a lot of fun with the railing as well at the front of the patio as too. So yeah, I just I had a little bit of a fun time with this house. I hope you like it, but we are at the end of the video now, so I'm gonna be wrapping up this voiceover. If you like the build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the tray files can be found on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below. And again, if you want to join the giveaway, definitely check out Lovelink by clicking on the link at the top of the description box or the one in the pinned comment, and then follow the instructions that I gave you at the start of the video as well. I highly recommend checking it out because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that is all. If you like books, check out my other channel. That's also linked under my link tree. And also go follow me on Twitch if you want to hang out during streams, which is also linked in my link tree. And now I'm done. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
But I've been wondering if everything's alright. You say you love me, and that's all fine. But it's like I'm missing the passion in